अभी सीख ही रहा हूँ. It's I'm still learning. There is a lot to learn. I'm
Correct, correct.
just started.
Definitely, it's a continuous learning, but basically that experience would help these participants. Yes,
Absolutely, sir.
right. So we always feel pride to invite you.
I'm glad to be invited as well, sir. Always happy to help in whichever way possible
Yes,
to students, to my college. That's where I'm a product of.
yeah,
Uh, support किया है तो
correct.
this is the least
Yeah.
that I can do.
Right now there is a meeting going on with SIH. Basically, that's why Padole sir is in that meeting.
Absolutely,
So
sir.
once it is over, then he may join here.
Sure.
But we will start in next 5 minutes. Once some more participants are there, then we'll start at 7:35 or 7:38 basically.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So
Whenever you say.
right, right.
Yes. Sir, can you please give me sharing rights?
Yes, you can share.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, yes. I just we wait 5 to 2 minutes. Okay, then join all participants and we will start now.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes, you can share.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, yes. I just
Good evening, all. Abhijit, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take this opportunity to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Abhijit Khandagale.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Uh, I always feel proud in introducing our own alumni, Mr. Abhijit Khandagale. And I must tell you something about him. I will not take much time, only 2 minutes I will take. Right now, he is Executive Director, Rooks Ecosystem Foundation. But we saw him since the undergraduate program, and uh, during his course of undergraduate also, he represented institute at international platform. He went Italy to present paper, and there his journey started, and he showed that dynamic behavior basically. And he founded 2 startups, and that too during the undergraduate time only. He started with AI labs. Then he thought that many of the students, they are in need of the network internet when they go abroad, and they feel that yes, there should be somebody with them who can mentor. And he started his another startup, Mentor Buddy, which helps the international basically the students who are going abroad, or anybody who is going abroad, and they need some mentoring and support from somebody. And he has successfully handed over also these 2 startups, and so that he could move further and continuing his journey. And the spark which he could show to many, and due to this, even MHRD has given him the responsibility of representing in grand finale as the representative in Smart India Hackathon 2019 software edition at NIT Trichy. And he is always invited as for talks. You can always browse, and you will get a number of videos about him motivating young minds to go ahead, uh, and they must break the barriers uh, of any type of fear which they could have uh, during the study time or like that. So he's the best person we thought of that that could motivate you to move further, and he is true researcher, innovator, and entrepreneur. So I now invite Abhijit to continue further and motivate these young minds to take their innovation, and they could culminate into the startup, I feel. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and giving us the opportunity to listen to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I am more than privileged to be a part of this. Thank you. Thank you again. Uh, Hello, everyone. This is Abhijit. As sir told, that I've been an alumni of the. I'm an alumni of the institute. Uh, I've been uh, I've been associated with JH Raisoni since as an engineer when I joined the mechanical engineering department in 2008, and my journey started back then. Um, I have a small presentation that I can walk you through during during my talk, and I think let me start with that. Uh, the presentation is aimed at uh, being 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 a leader and the art of courage that goes uh, around the concept itself. That it's while we talk about leadership, we hear a lot of things that who are leaders. Like leaders are probably people uh, that uh, that have been leading organizations, the CEOs, CTOs of different companies, they're startup owners, or they've been doing some sorts of change in the society. Uh, uh, they're politicians. They come from different walks of life. The people who inspire us to perform better and better each day. They inspire us to become better leaders and inspire action amongst uh, in our community. And while we talk about the leadership in general, what we see primarily is it's more about a mindset. It's a way of being. It's not just about leading people, or it's not just about dictating people. It's about what we make the people around us feel, the kind of impact that we have on the people, the kind of influence that we are able to generate. It's a mindset. It's not a skill. It's not simply a skill, is what I would say. um, a quick background about myself. I've been an engineer. I started my journey as an entrepreneur while I actually failed. I was a DC student. I I I could not fall into the category of successful people, as they say that having all the high marks in the college. But I had a year where everything went down for me. It was a year where I failed in my second year of engineering, and I had to face like a lot of trouble. Uh, but that moment, I also went down, and I literally cried. I didn't know what to do with my life, and that's where I thought that okay, I think this is the lowest point that that I could achieve, and I think the only possible way is going up from there. And thankfully, I've been doing a lot of extracurricular activities during that time. Thankfully, my college was very supportive, and I'm not just saying because I'm talking on a stage that's provided. I've been ever grateful to my institute, uh, my professors, my principal, Jaju sir here, who's been leading me since that moment in time, and pushing me to do better each day and supporting me in every possible way, be it academics, non-academics, at a personal level. And I'm ever grateful to people like him. And goes without a word, our director back then, Ms. Preeti Bajaj, who's been a guiding light to a lot of students like me, and did not let failure like that impact going further. The first thing uh, that I understood being a leader was being a leader without a title. Like no one tells you to that you have to lead. Uh, that's something that you achieve uh, in a course of ways, and that started for me when we're actually fighting between the call between the examination authorities of the university that to let us allow to even sit for the exams, because that was one chance that we had, because the results were not declared and we were like in the middle, like are we going to lose a year, what's going to happen? And that's where uh, that's where a couple of us, we actually took the charge. We led like a team of 50 people out there who were in the same boat as us, who were looking at losing a year. And that's where we, like 10 days before the exams, we were rushing through the city, going from the college to the university. Our college just had got the autonomous status, so we were like not sure who's the authority to actually take that decision for us. So we were rushing out amongst people out there that okay, what's the best thing possible for us? And that's where we saw okay, this is something that we have to take in our hands and go forward. uh, Sadly, things didn't go in our favor, and we had to take a drop year. During that time, I was also interning at an organization where me and a few other people were leading the sales and business development for them in the region around Nagpur city. And sadly, due to certain issues, the company shut down, and we had a team which was doing exceptionally well. We knew everything. We knew how the system works. We knew how to teach people, how to close deals, everything. And that's where I thought, okay, let's take this moment and uh, let's take this moment and actually move forward and gain control of the situation. And uh, that's where my first part of the talk comes in. How do you reduce uncertainty and gain control over your fears, reduce the very fear that consumes you? At that time, I was like, literally, I remember sitting in in a flat in Powai. We were just out there competing for the IIT e-summit, and I thought, what could I do with the better part of the next 6 months? I had finished my exams, I had nothing to do in front of me, and I thought, okay, why not start a company? And in that spur of a moment, we realized we got everything together, and we thought, okay, this is the time to actually become something more, and this is the time where uh, we could figure out all the different ideas that were going inside our minds and really think about what could be the best way forward. And that was my first startup. At a time where I did not even know what a startup was, we founded a company, and we're doing a lot of these robotics workshops, doing a lot of talks, doing R&D projects, and thankfully a lot of these teachers, professors who were helping us back then, a lot of seniors came forward and offered that help. That, okay, Abhijit, you and your team are doing something, let us help you out. And I remember Padole sir, who's also part of this hackathon today, he gave us our first chance in actually um, uh, conducting a robotics workshop in the college. And it was to a shock for a lot of people that a guy from mechanical engineering is teaching robotics and electronics in the electronics department. I did not. I took that as uh, as a crown and moved forward. And that's where we thought, okay, we're going somewhere, and the uncertainty in the life actually started to vanish out a little bit. Now, we've always heard about this phrase, that being captain of your ship. Now, what a captain known for? Are they known for uh, the way they take the ship from one end of the world to the other one, or are they known for the challenges that they have to go through the entire period of time while taking that ship? A very close friend of mine, a, a brother that I consider, Gaurav, he keeps telling me his stories at the sea. He's a captain, and I've heard such amazing stories from him, that the way the seas behave, the way the winds are out there, and how he as a captain has to keep everything in order in a crisis situation. And that was the kind of time that we that I've been experiencing throughout my entrepreneurial journey. That how do we take things control when everything's going down? uh, I remember during the better part of my second startup, uh, I faced a lot of issues. I actually went down to the US, pitched to a couple of investors, and they really liked the idea of what we're doing with Mentor Buddy, which was a peer-to-peer network of students who wanted to go abroad for studies. And that's where uh, that's where we saw that, okay, we've got very good interest. But then when I came back home, uh, we had like pretty much no money in the bank. I had invested a lot of time and money in putting the startup together, and for about 2 years we we couldn't really sustain the revenues that we were uh, uh, with the kind of expenses that we were incurring. And I thought, like, okay, what could be the worst case scenario? Like, okay, do I have to shut down my company? Do I have to uh, like, should I keep going? What's next for me? What could I do? And that's where it struck me that it's an intelligent move to not continue and move forward. And that's where I thought, okay, let me move from being a startup founder to actually working for someone. And that that was a part where the second part of my talk comes in, which is about letting go. Uh, I understood that you always can't be the winner. Sometimes you have to lose, and it's okay to lose. A lot of my friends helped me through that time. It was not really the best time of my life, and they actually gave me opportunities. I served as a CEO for a friend's company, which was into logistics. We raised like huge capital. We saw the entire journey of going crazy in terms of raising funds, expending them, and actually also crashing out. Uh, Sadly, the company went bust. We could not sustain in the larger scheme of things. The investors did not really put in the cash that was requested for the second phase of the lifeline, and that's where we thought, okay, that was the other part of uh, that was the other part of letting go that I understood, and actually seeking out help. And I went out, asked my network that, okay, what's the best thing that I could do that could give me some cash in my account that could keep me sustaining. And that's where I found a very good opportunity, and I joined. I joined a incubator based in Bombay, which was led by a couple of investors, and they took us in. They I was involved right from the inception of setting that incubator to getting the first batch of startups together to actually growing that incubator to a level where everyone in the ecosystem knew us. Uh, that actually took uh, that actually took a lot of courage, and it took a lot of hands that took us there. Like, we always talk about leadership, that okay, there's this one person uh, that's doing all the hard work, and that's the face that we see on leaderboards or in talks. But then there's so many people behind that one person uh, who goes to the top. There are a lot of people that even as I speak today, my team, we have a 35-member team today. I'm grateful that we're able to scale to this level, and working their asses off in terms of keeping things together while I'm able to share my thoughts with you. And from that incubation phase, I uh, I moved uh, I moved towards my next step in life, where I saw that okay, there's a lot that I've seen, but I wanted to I had committed certain mistakes down the line, and how could I turn them into lessons, and how could I make them better for me? And that's where I got an opportunity to also work with the government. I was a fellow for the Swachh Bharat mission, and it was amazing experience. I got to work from the uh, I got to work with villages. I got to work with sarpanches, with government officials at the district level, state level, at the ministry. We ran a huge hackathon back then, which was called Swachhathon. I was a huge part of that team, and even there, I saw okay, there are certain gaps uh, that exist in the entire system, and uh, how could I move forward? And that's where I think. it taught me to learn from all the mistakes, all the learnings that I had over the years, and pitch the and actually sew them together, stitch them together into uh, into my new venture, which I'm doing right now. And I had to take that step. I had to trust in something that's above me. Uh, for many of us, it comes in different names, forms, beings. But then we have to trust into that higher power that surrounds us, and uh, take that take that courage again. For me, from being a startup guy to working for people and getting back into the grind was a huge risk. Uh, I had some cash in account, which would lead me to actually take that step. But I was putting at stake a lot of things. Uh, I used to get a lot of job offers, and those job offers were not small roles. Like, I'm talking CXO roles, leadership roles, CEO roles, uh, which I had to turn down, and I knew it in my being that the next step that I want to take in life is called Vruksh, which is the current organization that I run. And that's where it also taught me that we have to embrace vulnerability. Uh, like, there's mm, we can't be perfect always. We'll fail. And during the better part of the last 2 years, I've seen that while running Vruksh as an organization, uh, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs. I saw that if I could be an entrepreneur. I could be something. Uh, with the kind of background, I did not come from a family of means. My I my family comes from us like doing regular jobs. I've been pretty much the first person to actually get a graduate degree and get like pass my 10th standard in flying colors, and actually become an engineer. Um, that was like huge. But then getting those hopes out there that, okay, I'm getting back in the wild and trying something out, really excited me always. And that's what I saw, that if I could do it, if I could come from nothing and actually become something, I saw that I could enable a lot of people do the same. I remember one of my mentors, uh, uh, Radhaji, who's a secretary, who's a joint secretary at the ministry. We're having this ride down a village in somewhere in Pune, and she told me, Abhijit, like it was like the last week of my fellowship with Swachh Bharat, and she told me, Abhijit, uh, if you become an entrepreneur, you'll become one entrepreneur. Uh, but if you enable entrepreneurship, I believe that you can create so many entrepreneurs out there, and that's the belief of people that still drives me. That's the belief that we have to, as leaders, any one of you trying to take that next step in life, you have to understand that we are going to commit mistakes. Uh, but what we should be doing is becoming the best versions of what we do, becoming the best versions of what we can be for the world. I think even today, like in my past 2 years in with Vruksh, leading as an executive director has not been easy. Last year, I had an episode where I fell sick for about 6 months. I was out of action. My company was struggling. Like we were thinking that, okay, should we take other roles? Should we what should we do to keep our organization surviving? And that too, like, I run a non-profit organization. It's not like we were minting money or we could do like huge roles out there. We had to really turn down certain projects which were profitable in nature, which just because it did not align with the kind of work that we're doing. Like, for us, it was impact first and everything second. And even as a non-profit foundation, we had to move in directions that were not very normal. Uh, we did not really take any kind of external funding, and that moved on. Like I remember, I think it was just the second day I came back from the hospital. Uh, I had jaundice first. I spent like about 3 months in bed. Then, just before I got better, I got dengue. I was hospitalized for about 7 8 days. And coming back from that, I got a huge news that okay, we'd been shortlisted, or we've been selected actually for a project with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and that was huge. And back then in September, we were a small team of 12 people, and from there today, within a span of like 4 to 5 months, we scaled to being 35 people, and today I see the organization growing. Like we have multiple projects running at parallel, but then I don't really have to be there. Like the past week I have not been keeping really well, so I took a off. Uh, but uh, uh, but my team kept it going, and those are some of my closing thoughts. That take heart. It's not always about being successful, like as David Orr put it, that it's the plain fact that the world does not need any more successful people. What it needs is peacemakers, it needs healers, it needs storytellers, and lovers of every kind. It needs people who have the courage to join the fight in making the world a more livable place. Uh, and it has very little to do with success. And I think with a platform like Smart India Hackathon, I've seen some startups who've gained such kind of support through the entire ecosystem that Smart India Hackathon provides, like getting the kind of mentors that are with you, or even getting the opportunity to work on the kind of problem statements that you have been offered to. It's a huge opportunity. We did not have that kind of stuff back then. Our professors, like I think back there's nothing of this sort. I was privileged to get the kind of opportunity. I've been across the world talking about on different things. And I think people like you today, who are competing in these hackathons and who are making amazing stuff. Like today I can't compete with the kind of technological skills that you have. But so many of you are so much better than who I am or what I can be. But I think this is an opportunity for you to do much better uh, than you can be, and actually solve those problem statements. So many of these problem statements are just beyond a corporate problem statement. These problem statements make the world a better place, and I think if you have the courage to move forward, and as students, you have the time on your hands. The COVID situation has also brought in a lot of uh, a lot of different opportunities in guys. Uh, that we can leverage and become better. Like I think sitting back at home, having that free time also on your hands helps you think a lot. And I think you should use this time, the network that you've created, or during the Smart India Hackathon also, stay connected to the mentors, stay connected to the guides that you've been offered, and help try and get better at what you're doing. I'm sure I'm also being part, like even this time, I'm part of the vigilance officers group, and MHRD. I'm telling you, like the government is trying hard to find good innovators and support them in any which way is possible. Uh, in whatever little way I can. My This is my website address. It has all my social networks tagged in there. Uh, I'd be happy if you can connect with me, ask me questions, and whatever little way that I can be part of in your journey. I would be the most happiest person on earth to do that. With that, I think I'll close my talk. And if there are any questions that people want to share, if there's anything that you have on your mind that you'd like to ask me, I'm open to talking with you. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions, anything on the pressing mind? Sir, I hope this was good enough. Hello? Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask, share, anything that you've been going through?
Hi, Abhijit.
Hello, sir. How are you?
So busy, so busy.
I can imagine, sir.
You, not I am.
No. I am not as much as you are.
Oh, thanks. Dear participant, this is Abhijit. I'm proud to be a teacher of Abhijit, and I'm proud thing that Abhijit is doing very well in businesses. He has already, role model for all the student community whosoever want to progress in businesses and start up their own curriculum or in their own or implementation. I hope the presentation I had gone through, Abhijit, definitely it's inspiring, and all this also you are closely associated with the Smart India Hackathon also as you are inspector in this also. So all these students will be they will take the benefit of you, and definitely that will guide all the student community at a large. So,
Absolutely, sir.
so I am just taking up any questions or something if the student want, or you can take. All students can take good selfie.
Absolutely, sir.
Student, can you open up your camera so that we can take good selfie with Abhijit? And I know this selfie with Abhijit will be memory, or you can cherish this memory for a long time.
Absolutely, sir.
So thank you, Abhijit. Thanks once again for accepting this invitation and guiding the student in especially Smart India Hackathon, which is your very, very interesting topic also.
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, dear student, and hope that you are doing well.
All the best, everyone. I hope you guys, I wish the best to all of you, and I hope you come out with flying colors. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to interact with students.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you.